welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you a story on how I nearly got scammed by buying a piece of plot in Dorinya in a town called Abe. It is an interesting story and I think we can learn a lot from this. That is why I want to share it with you guys, so you can also take caution whilst buying a land, because I know it will help someone out there trying to buy land in Ghana. So if it's your first time on this channel, kindly please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on anything. And also, about 68% of my viewers are still not subscribed to this channel. Can we please make it up to 50 in the next video? And I'll be giving out some guidelines or tips to follow when buying land in Ghana, so stay with me to the end of this video. So this was in 2018 when I first decided to buy a land and start developing. At that time I was out of the country, so I asked my parents to represent me. So they found this guy who wanted to sell a half plot for about 10,000 Ghana cedis, and we agreed. But in the agreement, I stated that I'm going to pay half of the amount mentioned, and he has to use that amount or some of that amount to process the land papers, and when everything is done with the land document, I balance him. I also stated that I'm going to start with the building process, which is starting with the foundation, while he's busy doing the paperwork, because I know the paperwork takes some time. So I told him, hey, I'm going to start with the project whilst you are busy because I cannot wait for that long. And he agreed. And this is the first tip. So we made a half payment for a half plot, and then I contacted my contractor, and then we came up with a drawing to begin. So in the process of planning and drawing, you know, we wanted to know where we have to put the stone and the sand so it doesn't get in the way and then the flow of work. But what my contractor normally does is that he always look for people in the area, like mason in the area, and employs them to join the team. Because when he employs someone in the area, like a mason who lives in the area, the person knows where to get food, water, or materials, some materials on the site, because he doesn't live there. So if he knows someone who is also into construction, who lives in the area, the person knows where to get stuff. So he always employs at least one or two guys from the local area, to join the team and help in the building. Also, sometimes, you know, you don't build throughout the process. So sometimes if you pause with the work, you can call the guy and check, hey, what is going on site? Is something broken? Is everything okay? Whilst they are not working. So it is very important to always get at least a local guy in the area to keep an eye on the project. And this is tip 2, which saved me from getting scammed. And this is the most interesting part of the whole story. So we found the mason at a local place, and then we took him to the site to show him the place and what goes in and out. And then this guy was like, what? No, you cannot build here. It's not possible to buy this piece of land. And we were like, why can't we buy this land? He said, no, because this land belongs to a sibling, a family who lives in America, and they came together. They are brothers and sisters, about 4, and they came together to buy 1 acre, this piece of land, to develop and build a family house for themselves. So we cannot buy a piece of it. And we were like, why not possible? Because at that time we already had the land papers, because this guy needed the money so bad. So he really went fast with the land papers, the document, and he was done in, let's say, in a month's time he was done, and we paid him off. So we had the land papers. This guy was like, no, you cannot buy the land. We were like, no, we already have the land papers and everything is genuine. He said, yeah, it is true, but he knows the family, he knows the struggle they've been through, and they came up with this idea of buying a whole piece of plot to build together and live together as a family. And this is the case where this guy, he is also I think he's the younger brother or something of the family, and he is the caretaker. Actually, he was the one who helped in buying the land and the land process, because the other brothers, the siblings, were outside. So he was the one in Ghana, and he went through the process of buying the land and everything. So he has the original document, and he sold piece of that plot to us just because he needed money. So yeah, this is the story. So when we found out, we were like, okay, we have to know whether what this guy is telling us is true, the mason. So the mason, the contractor told me, and I told my parents, and my parents went there and told her, hey, this is what we've heard. We don't want to start building, and then we are going to hear stories. So we found elderly people in the family. They discussed it with them, and it happens that it is true. So this guy sold a piece of land of his brothers and sisters who are living in America, who have struggled so much buying land, and they want to develop. This guy is selling a piece because he needs money to do his own thing. So I really felt bad about it, because I also live in the diaspora and I know how it feels. I know the struggle here, buy land, and then when you go back home, everything goes wrong. So the family decided that I have to send the papers back. The land papers I have to send it back, and they will give me back the money I have paid and the cost, because by then we've started with the foundation, we've started with the trenches, but we didn't lay the block yet. So yeah, this is the story I want to share with you guys. So please, if you buy a land in Ghana, please request for the papers, request for every document. Leave only a photocopy with the person who led you to buy the land in Ghana. Take all the original documents, just leave a photocopy, because if you leave just one original document with a person who led you, just in case that if there's a quarrel, or maybe it's a court case on the land, you can use the original document. You can always send the original document by DHL, and in a week time it's in Ghana. So please don't leave your original documents in Ghana. Get all the original documents with you and leave a photocopy with them, because they can sell the land if they have just a copy of the original document. So this is what the guy did, and I really felt bad about it, because I was also happy. I really put a lot of money in there, and of course they pay the money back, but you know, my people, the money doesn't come back to me. The money goes to my family, and then is gone. Then they will tell you, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Even though I try to push the money in my old projects, in buying a new land and stuff, but hey, you know, family is family. If they have your money, yeah, there is nothing you can do. So I also lost money. And you know one funny thing about this guy who sold the land to me? He is a pastor. How do you, he's
Your mom is here with me. I'm Bishop David.
And this guy sold. But the thing is that the part of land he sold to me was for him, actually, because he didn't contribute in buying the whole acre. He didn't contribute. His contribution was to lead and go through the process and everything. So I think the portion he sold to me was his reward. But because he is part of the family, and the whole thing and the whole idea was a family thing, so he's not allowed to sell a portion. You understand? But he has a share in the acre. So to him, he's trying to sell his part to me. But I don't think it is a nice thing to do if a group of people comes together to buy a piece of land, and then they reward you with a piece, and then you want to sell your piece out. I don't think it's a nice idea. So this is the story, and there are a lot of lessons we can learn in this story. And also, one thing I also say is that never build on a family land, no matter what, unless you have your name on the family land. If you're living in abroad in the diaspora, and there's a family land and you want to build on it, please don't do it unless you have your name on the piece of land. Because I've also heard about a story where people are like, oh, my father owns this, my father owns that, this was for my grandfather, this was for my granddad, and blah blah blah, and then they build on it because it's a family land. If the land hasn't been shared and your name has been put in on the papers, don't do it. Don't build on a family land. Don't do it, because they will keep quiet after you are done with the whole building, because what they think is that you are not going to live there. You will only come and visit and go. So if you want to build on it, they will congratulate you, they will give you morale, and when you are done with it, your cousin, your nephews, and your uncles, and whoever goes to stay in the house. And when you finally want to claim the house, then it becomes a problem. So for me, my advice is that if you really want to build on a family land, please get that portion in your name, or buy a new land and start your own life. This is what I have to tell, because this is what my father and my mother went through. Both of them went through the same process. My mother built on my grandfather's land, and now it's a whole lot of issue. My father also tried to do the same thing, and it's also happening. That is why I'm always going, like, I always want to buy my own land. I always want to do my own thing. I don't want to look at what my father, even though I know my father has a piece of land, but I also have brothers and I have sisters, and my mother also has a land, but I know I have brothers and sisters, so I'm trying to get my own thing. And then later, when we all grow up and we all sit down and think, okay, this is what we're going to do, then maybe I have extra plot of land, or I can give it to them as a gift or something. Hey, I have this, so you can also have that. So please don't build on a family land. It's very dangerous. That's what I have to say. So there are 3 things we can learn from this video, which is tip 1, which is never buy a piece of land and pay for the full price in one. Always try to pay half of the price. If you are buying from an individual, you pay half of the price, and then you ask them when they are done with the paperwork, then you balance them. Or what you can also do is that after you've paid for a half or a full price, you can always buy stones or sand and put it on a piece of land and wait for a month or 2. If you don't hear any story or someone coming to the land and say this belongs to me, that belongs to me, then you can continue with your project. Because sometimes when you put your stone or sand, there are people that pops up and say, hey, you cannot do this, you cannot do this. So that is tip 1. And tip 2 is that it's always important to always get a local people, a mason who lives around the place, because I am sure maybe where you are buying your land, you don't live in that area. You don't have a family member who lives in that area. So always try to get someone who is a worker, who is into construction work, to watch over your place. So just in case you've stuck with your project for some time, at least you have an eye there. When something gets broken or a piece goes out, you don't need a lot of people to come and work. He can only go and just patch where it's broken, or when he sees something goes wrong, he can go there and check it out for you. So that is tip 2. And then with the 3rd tip is about the family thing. You don't have to not necessarily have to build on a family land. You can get your own thing and make your own family, because family is really big. You never know how big your family is. So if you all have to share a land, you never know. So these are my tips for the day. Thank you for staying with me till this far. If it's your first time on this channel and you want to know more about building, Kindly please do subscribe to this channel. Let's share ideas and grow together, and please don't forget to hit up the bell icon so you don't miss out on anything. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.